Okay, we're back. What we're going to do now is have a brief explanation of exactly what happened to lead up to the eviction. Want everybody to know that this is just
My opinion.
your opinion, and that it's not contrived. And we would gladly accept an explanation from the manager if he's willing to do it. We'll document that as well. So. Having that said, let's just continue on with a description of the events leading up to the eviction.
Good. Again, Bart Russi. We're going to try to explain to you in detail on what took place. We had a sewer problem, and I came out to investigate it. After 40-some years in the piping business, come to realize it was the park's problem. It was not our problem. And so what I did,
this little pipe coming out, bending down. It's like a regular sewage pipe from any house, anything that has to drain in. There's an elbow in it, right directly off of it, and this structure around here, this side building, and this stairway, and all this brickwork. How long has this been here?
Well, the brickwork just shortly. The stairs, everything has been here since 2003, and the city has documents on that. What the park manager says, he had no concern about. He didn't even want to hear about the sewer. What he wanted to do was say, "Hey, what you have here is an illegal structure. You just put this up recently," and I tried to explain to him it's been here for about 8 to 10 years. Didn't know the actual time. But that's when it was. We got the paperwork on it. It was back in 2003. Anyway, when I realized it was not going to do anything with the sewer lateral, I told him I'll get my own plumbing company in here and I'll have them take care of it. One word led to another. I asked him to leave the property. His comment was, "Hey, I can come on your property anytime, 24 hours a day. I don't need your approval or anybody else's approval." Well, then it got to a point to where words were sent on both parts. I was so upset, probably hadn't been that upset in years. And at my age, that's not a good thing. Anyway, he actually got dead in my face, within inches of my face, and said, "Hey, go ahead and hit me, old man." Well, the wife was here doing in the kitchen. She heard that. She came out and tried to separate us, and she got in between us and pushed us apart. And his comment to her was, "Get your hands off me, woman." Well, being my age of 72 and her age, and I had this big fellow behind us who was a park worker, we had no idea. I was feared for her, not just myself, but for her. So I went after Patrick, being the first one in front of me, and shoved him up against the wall. He went into my planter, and his comment to me was, when he got up, he smiled and he says, "Thanks a lot." And they went and got in their cart and they left. Well, he called the police department and fabricated the fact that I got him down and I was choking him, which was a fabrication. I have two witnesses, the gentleman next door and the lady across the street, and they both got statements to that fact.
Okay, let me clarify. Patrick is who now?
That Patrick is the park manager.
He's the park manager. Now, how long has he been the park manager?
Oh, I think Patrick's been here for about a year, and he has disrupted so many families in this park. Some of these women don't even bother to come outside. They're scared of him and what he's capable of, or what he could do. He raises hell with them. He raises his voice with them, and it's just gotten out of hand. And that's what it was. A year and a half of listening to all of that. I was so frustrated, so concerned about my wife and myself and our welfare. She didn't come back to this house for 2 weeks. She did not want to be part of this. She did not even want to be near it. I've had to get hotel rooms, let her stay with the kids. Finally, she came back, but yesterday was the last day when we moved out of here. She said, "No, I'm not coming back anymore." And we've lost all of our friends because of this.
Yeah.
We are going to court on it. I've got me a good attorney, and we're going to fight this one.
Well, let's talk about Patrick now.
Yeah.
How long? You say he's been the manager now for a little over a year?
A little over a year now.
And was he from the start hard to deal with, or is this something that just now happened?
Day one.
Day one.
Day one. I was told that Patrick was brought in here to disrupt everything because the park owner, and I don't know this for a fact, but it's my understanding is he lost on this Vacancy De Control, and what he'd like to do, I think his lease is up in this park in 2020. He got 8 more years. He'd like to have all the homes in here. relocation on these folks that own these homes would be costly. If he's walking around and telling these folks, hey, I'll give you $10,000 or I'll give you $5,000. If you don't like it, get out. You know.
Well, now, and that's when they go to try to sell their.
That's when they try. That's another issue. We've had several people in here to try to sell their homes. They can't. The buyers have been denied. We have one lady here, the buyer offered her $55,000 cash. Went across the street, you got to fill out that application because they rent the property. No, they've all been denied. The old park owners, managers, Lee and Gay, they own 3 mobiles in here, and they still can't sell them. They can't get anybody to qualify. We did. Why? Because number one, they really wanted me out of here because I started this HOA program. Number two is the people that bought the home have been living here for a couple of years, and they've already been pre-approved for another house. They found our house and said, no, we want this house. So that's how we were able to sell it. Otherwise, we would have been stuck like everybody else.
So in your opinion, you think that the possibility of vacancy decontrol is what's causing most, or say most of this negative reaction from the managers?
There's no doubt about it, and the owner is quite aware of it. The owner, Steve Epson, you know, I attended 3 different meetings at City Hall. And like I said before, these folks should be home enjoying their lives. They should not be down here fighting for it. And I understand this gentleman here owns a lot of real estate. There is no need to be fighting with these elderly people here. They should just leave them live their life.